Windward. Yeah, so I'm excited to share with you guys about, like, with this whole pandemic and school's about to start. Um, I learned at a young age. Yes, two quiet girls are on here.
Two white
Whoop
girls,
whoop.
yes.
And two Oahu people. So as far as like with the pandemic, I learned at a young age about resilience and learning to just deal with hardship. Um, because Alexis can remember, but back in 1982, Kauai was hit with our first hurricane, Eva, and it was when I was in second grade, and the house that we lived in at the time, it was so old that the roof collapsed, and so we lost our home. And school wasn't even an issue because Kauai had no electricity and no running water. And then 10 years later, so we our
I
family had
remember.
to our family had to move from one town, Kapa'a, into town like near the airport, Lihui, but we ended up mainly being in Honolulu. And then 10 years after that, we got hit again by another hurricane, Hurricane Iniki. And that was, right? Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. And then when I was going into my senior year, like September, right when the seniors supposed to start, Hurricane Iniki hit. And again, no electricity, no running water. And so when you look at this pandemic and you compare it to what we all went through back in the day in 1982, 1992, I'm like, it sucks, but you guys have running water, you guys have electricity, you guys have Wi-Fi, you guys have cell phones. Back then, we didn't have cell phones, or if we did, it might have been what, a pager or a flip phone.
Hmm.
We weren't concerned about education because we had no electricity. We didn't have access to water, and so what's going on now, I think we just have to really stop and just make solid decisions for our families that works for us. I know if I can survive, okay, Karen, imagine going to the stadium to take a shower by the water pipe because there's no running water by your house, but then the running water is like at the county, like parks and like facilities. And so
It's
now you
crazy.
ask people like me and Alexis and anybody who was impacted in Hawaii by the hurricane, like, how do you deal with this whole educational thing? Is like, you look at your schedule, you look at your child, and
Hmm.
you make hard decisions. And regardless if it has to be distance learning, you enrolling them in homeschooling, or maybe they go back to school part-time, you don't compare your decision for your family to other people's decisions. Because on Facebook, for example, my friends are asking like, oh, what are your plans? Is your child going to go to school? Are they going to do distance learning? Are they going to homeschool? And I'm being honest, I'm not judging anybody. I just so happen to I'm able to have kind of study from home, distance learning through his middle school. But his best friend, his mom can't. She doesn't have that ability to homeschool him because she has to go work, go to work, whereas I work from home. And so because there's social media, a lot of times we can just compare our lives to other people's lives. And then as a parent, sorry, I'm on Koi. Can you hear the rooster?
Love it.
After hurricane, back in 1992, guys, let me just give you a quick history. We have a lot of people who like to what do you call, not collect, but house chickens and roosters for personal reasons. Some people like to chicken fight. Anyways, so when 1992 happened, the hurricane happened, all the roosters and the chickens that were in cages, they went buckaloos, and now they're all over. Sometimes I have like 20 in my yard,
Wow.
and they're not mine. They're just cruising like with their babies. So that's why when I'm recording a live or doing a podcast, this is kawaii.
That is funny.
Yes, after Nikki. And see, that's an example. You just adapt.